Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is about story time, getting kicked out of school. Let's watch the video.
So this boy that I was in high school with recently hit me up, and now I got a story for y'all. So when junior year of high school first started, I had this friend, and she kept on telling me like this dude liked me. But I had a boyfriend at the time. He didn't go to the same school as me, but I still respected our relationship. So I didn't go asking this dude or saying nothing like, hey, I heard you like me. What's that about? Let me not forget to say this. Me and the boy had a bunch of classes together. I think the only thing we didn't have together was lunch. Now, I went to a school to where the teacher would sit you based off your last name. And I also had some teachers who didn't do that. So him sitting next to me was nothing. But I did have a teacher who would be like, okay, y'all group of four, since y'all sitting so close together, y'all gonna work together. Y'all who sit next to each other, y'all gonna work together. Like stuff like that. So in one of my classes, me and this dude was sitting next to each other, so we had to work together. Now, me and this dude don't become friends. In my eyes, we're classmates and we're talking because we have to work together. And let me say this too. At my school, when you came there, everybody was given an iPad. And if you wanted to FaceTime or message somebody iPad, all you had to know was their school ID number. You put that school ID number into the FaceTime and now you talk to them, you call them, you do whatever. So one day, this dude texted my iPad about our schoolwork. Now, once I got me a phone, I wasn't on the iPad like that. So as me and him talking back and forth about school, he takes the conversation elsewhere. He told me that he wanted to be friends with me, like, is that cool? Now, me completely forgetting what my friend said, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. We can be friends, I guess. But like, nothing too crazy. Like I told y'all, back then, I was dumb. And I was letting my boyfriend control who I'm friends with and who I'm not friends with. Not females, but male. So I wasn't trying to have too many male friends, especially if they wasn't before the relationship. Now, from the beginning of this story to this point right here, that all happened in August. So me and this guy is proceeding to be friends, right? And stuff don't really hit the fan till the next year, spring break. So that's where we finna go. So it's next year, spring break, right? Now, during spring break, me and my boyfriend had got into it. And I guess he tried to leave me for the 50th time. I can't remember what me and my boyfriend was arguing about. He was like really insecure and jealous. I think it was probably about me liking some guy picture or something. But he was so upset about it, and he was putting my business on the internet, and all I was doing was talking about how I'm single and all this, right? So dude texts my iPad, and he's like, you don't need him, like you deserve better and all this and all that, right? Now when you're a kid and the boy talking to you like that, like you feel good, you know? So I'm feeling like he's just such a real man and such a true friend. So I'm like, yeah, friend, you right. So I'm not talking to my boyfriend none during spring break. I'm talking to dude, like not talking, but like he's being a good friend. So we just gonna fast forward to the last day of spring break. My boyfriend all of a sudden wants to get back together now that I'm finna go back to school. So me and my boyfriend on the phone talking things out for hours. Out of nowhere, he tell me he get a DM from this girl. And I'm like, what girl? So he sends me the screenshot. And basically he had a DM from this girl that was like, are you and Zakayla still together? And he responded, yeah. And this girl was like, well, she's been cheating on you. She's been messing with dude. Dude is the guy who liked me. We just gonna call him Romeo or something. So now a lot of pictures and videos of me and Romeo working together as classmates is sent to my boyfriend, as if I'm really cheating on this man and being all buddy with dude and caked up and all that. So now I'm heated and I'm like, I'm finna text this girl. So I go on this account and this girl seems to be a grown woman. So now like, I'm just finna DM them. And I noticed that me and this girl had DMs already. Now this story took place at a time where Instagram didn't have it to where you can unsend messages. So as I'm strolling up, I noticed that these messages are between me and somebody who was trying to get put on with my best friend. These messages was between me and Romeo's best friend. Now his friend did not know me for real, but he knew of me and we was all in the same classes and stuff. He'll be like, hey, can you put me on with your friend or whatever? And he DM'd me that. So since I knew it wasn't a girl, I didn't DM the page. I told my boyfriend that was a dude. I don't know what they on. And then I had messaged Romeo. All of a sudden, Romeo is going off on me. Like, he like, don't lie on my friend. Don't put me in no messy stuff. I'm like, So then I tell my boyfriend about this. He decides to text Romeo and text the page. Now, the page is texting him and Romeo texting him. And they like, I slap your girlfriend. I do this, I do that. Yeah, you don't go to this school. And I'm like, ooh. Now, back then, I was crazy. I was ready to go to school the next day. So the next day rolls around. We at school. He ain't say nothing to me. He ain't sat next to me. He ain't looked at me, nothing. Then we get to gym, right? Now, we would have gym anytime it was hot outside. So I'm outside sitting down as I normally would do during gym. and I see Romeo. I see his best friend who DM'd my boyfriend. I also see 2 other guys, and those 2 other guys hated me. Now, they all staring at me, right? And I'm like, oh, look at the group of rejects. So, like, some time go by. Now, all of them was huddled up, and they're looking at Romeo and his best friend's phone. After that, all of them started walking up. And then the rest of the group stopped, and only Romeo came up walking up to me. And he was like, what school do your boyfriend go to? And I was like to him, boy, you better get the fuck up out of my face. Ask him. And he was like, but you his girlfriend, you would know. And I'm telling him, like, don't be a kitty cat, ask him. So Romeo was like, all right, bet. Nothing else happened that day. But later that day after school, one of the guys that I told y'all from the group out of the 2 hated me. He messaged me and was like, friend, what's going on with you and Romeo? And I'm like, dude, I am not your friend. And he was like, you bogus AF. And I'm just like, how am I bogus? And he was like, why would you cheat on my friend with that boy? And I'm like, what boy? Why was they talking about my boyfriend? My boyfriend that I was dating for 2 years at that point. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but you can stop DMing me now. After that, this girl DMs me. This girl who go to my school. And she's like, why are you DMing my boyfriend, talking to him like that? And I'm telling her, like, girl, you better get up out of my face. And then I had blocked that girl. All I know is these people start DMing my mama on Instagram, saying like, yeah, your daughter is asking for a death wish, yeah. Like, all this stuff had happened on a Friday. Mind y'all, while all of this is happening, I'm getting into it with people from here and there. Romeo is nowhere to be seen or heard from. He wasn't even showing up to school anymore. So my boyfriend wanted to get to the bottom of it. Instead of arguing with 50 different boys and Romeo, friends of friends and all this other stuff, he texted him again. And he was just telling him like, all this stuff is not cool. Romeo jumps out of his body saying what he's going to do to me on Monday. Keep in mind, anytime these boys ever said something or these groups would text us and DM and all that, it will always be on a Friday when we're not at school. So Monday I get to school. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I got culinary first period. I see Romeo finally. And I was trying to keep it cool, but I was just so mad. So I had a lock in my pocket with a shoestring on it. And I went up to him and I was like, you were saying that you was finna do all this and do all that to me. I'm right here. Slap me in my face like you said you was gonna do. And then he stood up. And I'm just gonna leave the story right there. Like for part 2.
What do y'all think about this video? You know what to do. Comment below. This is Life with Sean Renee, and I'm out. Bye.